Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is. Wait, what's going on? What can I move? Wait, am I a drawing? Oh no, this is an attempt at a top 10 video, isn't it?
Oh, actually, it's a top 5 video.
Alright, fine. Hand me the script. Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is AceTrainerNinja here today with my first ever highly edited, proper top 5 video. And with July 4th just around the corner, I felt like it was an appropriate time to take a look at the Pokemon I find the most Murica. Of course, with a lot of Pokemon being based on Japanese lore and stories, it's kind of hard to find Pokemon that really represent the USA since we haven't been around nearly as long, and most of our history is just that. Factual happenings that don't really have a lot of inspiration for fantastic imaginary creatures like Pokemon. But nonetheless, I managed to put together a pretty fair list of 5 Pokemon I feel represent the US pretty well. Remember, this is just for fun, and not intended to be taken seriously. Also, just to clarify, when I use the word patriotic, I mean it as giving pride to the country, which in this case is the US, but I realized that being patriotic towards my country would be different from you being patriotic towards yours. So just keep that in mind. With that, let us begin. Snorlax. So I'll admit, I had a hard time finding Pokemon that have Americanized aspects incorporated in their designs, but the reason for putting Snorlax here over any other random Pokemon is because it almost fits the criteria I had. This Pokemon makes me think of America in only one way, because he's chunky, and Americans are fat. I can say that, because I'm a fat American. Also, statistically speaking, the good old US of A is one of the largest countries on the planet. Roughly 160 million US citizens are overweight or straight up obese, and yes, there is a difference. Not trying to fluff shame, these are just facts. If you are overweight, more power to you. You are one of the lucky people on Earth who can actually use the move Body Slam effectively. But yes, purely based on the size of Snorlax, I'm putting him in the number 5 slot. Girder. Girder is a fairly simple one that's also sort of a stretch. Don't worry, the next few are pretty clear in their reasonings for being here. Girder is based on construction workers, which live everywhere, right? Well, yes. But Girder specifically carries a steel beam. There are 2 American places that were both built upon the production of steel during the 1800s, Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania. And what did we use that steel for? Building stuff. And what do we need to build stuff? Construction workers. Boom! Okay, yeah, moving along. You get it. Paunch Crow. Paunch Crow is another one that just kind of slipped onto the list. It makes a lot of sense, but you really had to do some digging to make it make sense. For those of you that don't know yet, Paunch Crow's origins stem from crows, obviously, and mob bosses. The crow part bringing in the bird aspects of Paunch Crow, with the inspiration from the mob man attire bringing forth the hat-like crest on their heads resembling wide-brimmed fedoras, which are often associated with the appearance of the American Mafia and other crime families, which are still fairly active in the northeastern parts of the US like New York to this day. But this guy is the most famous, and guess where he's from? Right here. So that's my reason. Coughing and wheezing. When Pokemon Red, Blue, and Green were still in their beta stages, many Pokemon had quite different names than they do now, as well as some Pokemon having evolutions and pre-evolutions that they no longer do. But that's a story for another time. One such group is Coughing and Wheezing. Originally their names were NY and LA respectively. This was because of the high amounts of pollution in and being produced by New York and Los Angeles, which are both US cities. These names were given to Coughing and Wheezing for being pretty much floating balls of toxic pollutants. Their names were changed for their final releases for pretty obvious fear of backlash from the potential US consumer base. But the fact that these are still their original names, I felt was more than enough to earn them a spot on this list. Braviary. Alright, so this one's a little bit obvious, but I'm gonna explain myself anyway. It's Murica the Bird. Just look at it. It's clearly supposed to be an bald eagle, the mascot of the United States. And just look at those colors. Now look at these colors. See what I'm getting at? This Pokemon just screams Murica. I don't know what else to say. This was the obvious number one. Nothing else even comes close to being as patriotic. There's nothing else I could have put here. Braviary, 100% America's Pokemon. Well, that's going to about wrap up this video. But remember, these are just 5 Pokemon I feel represent America well. But I'm sure there are 1 or 2 that I missed. So if you think of any that I didn't list here, please be sure to tell me what the Pokemon is and why it deserves a spot on the list in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed, and think about hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I have plenty of content for Pokemon fans here on the channel already, mostly Let's Plays and Nuzlocke, but more videos like this will be coming in the future. Until then, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.